Home DNA sequencing has become very popular in recent years. By spitting into a tube, you can learn all about yourself, ethnicity, traits, even health conditions, all based on the cells in your spit, based on what you inherited from your parents, right? But how exactly does that work? Inside every normally functioning adult's reproductive system, you will find either eggs or sperm. Both of these, called gametes, contain half of the amount of DNA of a normal cell, like a skin cell or a muscle cell. Every person inherits half their DNA from their mother and half from their father, but which half you get is determined by which egg and sperm you get. Your mother got half her DNA from her mother and half from her father, but the egg she produced may not look half and half from her mother and her father. Maybe one of her eggs has 60% from her mother and 40% from her father, or another egg she produced may have 55% from her father and 45% from her mother. This randomization is why most siblings don't look exactly alike. DNA is double-stranded, but eggs and sperm only contain one strand of DNA. Before eggs and sperm are made, the two DNA strands in a normal cell will cross over and exchange sections of DNA. Therefore, each egg and sperm made will have some DNA from both of the parents. So the egg from your mother that became you may contain 60% of the DNA from your grandmother and 40% from your grandfather. This is because this randomization is never perfectly exact. This egg joins with the sperm from your father, which maybe has 55% of the DNA from your paternal grandfather and 45% from your paternal grandmother, and this is why you are a unique code. When the egg and sperm, each with half of the amount of DNA for a complete cell, come together, they form a complete cell. This one cell divides into two, and each of those divides into two, and so on. That's why when the embryo forms and eventually becomes a baby, every cell is the same. You've had the same DNA for your entire life, and you always will. So when you spit into a tube and some of your cheek cells come off from your mouth with your saliva and into the tube, you can learn about your entire body because all of the cells in your body have the exact same DNA that you got from your parents. Scientists can sequence this DNA and find out any kinds of traits they want. The reason why that it's so limited to get certain traits is because they have to use specific primers. A primer is something that can replicate a specific gene. So a gene is just a section of DNA. So the primer replicates a gene, and then we can use polymerase chain reaction, which is PCR, to replicate that same gene over and over and over again, so that it's super amplified and we're able to sequence and know what that gene says. This is why your DNA sample can be used to determine your ethnicity. Your sample is compared with the samples of hundreds of people known to be from various regions around the world. Things that are in common among those sequences are the sorts of sequences that are expected to be from people from those regions. So that's the basics, and if you want to learn more about genetics, biology, and the ethics involved, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.